I be claiming on the realest, ain't see my nephew yet. Like I can't hit up Molly phone like what my nephew at.
To this boy JD, I'm back with another reaction video. Maybe back with another one, man. Hey, we got a different type of reaction video right here, man. You feel me? We got a different type of reaction. Somebody said that I should switch the reactions up. You feel me? Like, I know I be doing the basketball. Somebody said I should switch it up and look at something else. You feel me? So we switching up today. You feel me? We got the worst female gangsters deaths ever, man. You feel me? You know, it's a lot of female gangsters out here, you feel me, that was in the streets, heavy in the streets, you feel me, did they dudes in the streets, you feel me, and it's crazy, you feel me. So we finna see basically how these females went out, how they died, and all, like the way they died, and it's like, you feel me, things of that nature type shit, you feel me. So, and let me know if y'all want more videos like this, and if y'all got more videos like this, drop in the comments or just DM me on Instagram, or something like that. Just DM me on Instagram, just let me know and send me some videos that y'all want to see me react to, other than just like the basketball reaction videos, just like that. You feel me? I'm trying to switch it up, give y'all a different type of videos to look at, not just the basketball. I know some people just don't be want to look at the basketballs all the time, so I'm trying to switch it up right here, man. You feel me? But make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Like I said in the other videos, the previous videos, we have a goal, man. 1,500 subscribers before 2026, man. We gotta accomplish that goal. We need that goal accomplished this month, man. So please, please smash the subscribe button if you new. Share my video. Damn. Excuse me. Share my YouTube with a friend. Let them share with a friend. Let them share with a family member, a mother, sister, brother, cousin, uncle, granddaddy, whatever, man. And yeah, make sure y'all like the video too, man. Let's get this video up to 10 likes, man. So smash the like button. Let's get straight into it. We ain't gonna waste no time with this one. I got a little burrito.
Jakira K.I. Barnes. Jakira Barnes, better known by her
link in the description, man. Follow my Twitch. We live on Twitch too, man. You feel me? Live every day on Twitch. Follow my Twitch. No cap.
Street names K.I. or Lil Snoop was just 17 when she became one of the most feared female gang members in Chicago's history. Born in 1997, she was part of the Gangster Disciples St. Lawrence Boys, or STL faction, also known as Fly Boy Gang, based in the violent Woodlawn neighborhood on Chicago's South Side. On the streets, K.I. wasn't just another face. She was a name people whispered about. Rumors said she had a body count of close to 20 between 2011 and 2014, earning her a deadly reputation as a shooter or hitter among rivals.
Call Shaq, boy, you let the back blow these bobber niggas like Osama.
Cray, my young nigga.
K.I., my young killer.
Her life had been marked by tragedy from the start. Her father was shot and killed before she even turned 1. That early loss set the tone for the kind of world she would grow up in, one where death was never far. Things only got worse when her close friend, 13-year-old Taekwon Tyler, was murdered in 2013. From that moment on, she changed her Twitter handle to Taekwon Assassin and vowed to get revenge. K.I. was later linked to the 2011 murder of rival Black Disciple member O.D. Perry, a killing that made her name ring even louder in the streets. After O.D.'s death, the area he came from became known as O Block, a name that would later be made famous through rap and street culture. On social media, K.I. was as ruthless as she was in the streets. Her Twitter feed was a mix of grief, taunts, and open threats, sometimes posting emotional messages about lost friends, then following them up with talk of revenge. That mix of pain and aggression made her one of the first young gang figures to use social.
Welcome to Iron Beam, the future of futures trading. With our cutting-edge chart trading
media as a weapon. Her story came to a brutal end on April 11th, 2014, Good Friday. That morning,
why you got to add the Good Friday behind it? Why was the Good Friday ad behind that, bro? Somebody, like, why? You could just say April 11th, 2014 on to the next. Why was the Good Friday right there? Like,
she tweeted, "I do what I do because I know God got a day for me," almost as if she knew what was coming. Later that day, she made a fatal mistake by posting her location on Twitter, revealing that she was on the 6400 block of South Eberhard Avenue in Woodlawn. Not long after, as she walked with friends, a gunman jumped out of a car and opened fire. K.I. was hit 9 times in the chest, neck, and jaw. Witnesses said the shooter even waved bystanders out of the way before unloading his weapon. She tried to fight for her life. Even waved bystanders out of the way before unloading his weapon.
Not going to cop. I ain't gonna cap to you, bro. That's W though, you feel me? At least he ain't, at least the dude that did it wasn't on no like just trying to go out and just kill anything they just seen right there, or just shoot anybody they seen right there. They actually told the people, like the people that ain't got nothing to do with this, you feel me, like the innocent bystanders, like you said, the rent, like tell them to get out the way, like it's gonna go down type shit, you feel me? He ain't just go letting his gun spark and he killing W. Yo, I say he killing W. He killing mad people like that. That's W. I ain't gonna lie. It's a W. It's W, but it's crazy because somebody else still lost their life. But it's good how he went about the killing part type shit. Like not just killing anybody. Bro, W
She tried to fight for her life, staggering to some nearby steps before collapsing. She was pronounced dead shortly after at the hospital.
It's still under investigation what exactly happened Friday afternoon in the 6400 block of South Eberhard. But neighbors say Barnes and a friend were walking along the sidewalk when a gunman started firing.
Her death shocked even the people who had feared her. Many in her circle grieved deeply, and her mother's heartbreaking reaction summed it up best. She said she was finally relieved that she didn't have to constantly worry about her daughter's safety anymore. Years later, police documents surfaced naming Chicago rapper and rival gang member Davon King Von Bennett as the suspected shooter, but without solid evidence, no charges were ever filed. Tyosha Mitchell. At 25,
they said them charges came back up though, right? They said them charges came back up on file, but I want to know they want to be able to reach. They can't recharge a motherfucker with a killing. Even like if y'all lost the evidence, y'all lost the evidence, right? Shit, you feel me? If y'all let a motherfucker out free, you can't revive them. You can't revive that case, bro.
She was a mother of two, known by friends as a caring woman who loved cooking, doing hair, and working as a nurse. But behind that normal life was a dark reality. She was the highest-ranking female member of the Norfolk-based Madstone Bloods, a subset of the almighty Black Pea Stone Nation, also known as the Vietnam Baby Guerrilla Gang. For a long time, Tyosha wanted out. She was tired of the chaos, the fear, and the control that came with being in the gang, but leaving wasn't as simple as walking away. The gang had rules, and to officially leave, she had to go through what they called a beating out. It was meant to be a punishment.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. If that's a woman, twin, you gotta let her go, bro. No cap, bro. Ain't no beating no woman out, bro. Come on, bro. Y'all just gotta let her go. She trying to get her life together, bro. Just let her go, bro. Y'all, that's some crazy shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's crazy. That's wild,
and a test
bro.
of loyalty. On May 6, 2023, that rule turned deadly. In the early hours of that morning, Tyosha and her boyfriend were at her Richmond apartment when 4 gang members, 3 women and 1 man, showed up. What started as an argument turned into a savage beating. Witnesses said the attack lasted for 31 seconds, long enough to leave her on the ground, curled up in pain. At one point, a man even lifted her up so the beating could continue.
3 women and a man assaulted Mitchell at her Richmond apartment shortly after midnight on May 6, saying they tried beating her out of the gang, meaning she would no longer be a member.
You'd think it would have ended there, but it didn't. Not long after, 4 of the attackers returned, this time with another member, Jaquan Jones. Some were masked and a few carried guns. They forced Tyosha into a black Hyundai Sonata and drove her nearly an hour east to a remote area off Old Williamsburg Road in York County, Virginia. There, she was dragged from the car, and Jones and another member, Donisha Goodman, executed her. Her body was discovered by a jogger the next morning. She had been shot multiple times in the head, back, abdomen, legs, and even the buttocks.
Bro, so you telling me first y'all beat her, and then y'all go back, take her body, well, kidnap her, take her to a empty road, and then shoot her. So she got out. Y'all beat her out, right? They beat her out, and then y'all just wanted to go do some extra shit. That shit wrong, bro. That's wrong, bro.
May 2023, a jogger found the body of 25-year-old Tyosha Mitchell on the side of the road in York County. She'd been shot 8 times.
When investigators began piecing things together, they found shell casings that matched markings on a 9mm cartridge recovered from the car. It didn't take long for police to connect the dots. 5 gang members were eventually arrested and pleaded guilty to federal charges tied to her kidnapping and murder. The gang leader, Hezekiah Carney, and shooter Jaquan Jones both received 38 years in prison. Goodman got 35 years, while Jamaica Langley was sentenced to 20 years for conspiracy to commit kidnapping. Tara Correa McMullen. Born Shalva McMullen was a...
I knew she looked familiar. Man, I knew she looked familiar, bro. She played on that movie with Martin, bro. She played in that movie with Martin. That basketball movie with Martin, bro. I don't know the name of it, bro. But I knew she looked familiar when I seen the picture. When I seen the first picture. What the fuck? She out here.
Rising young actress who seemed to have a bright future ahead of her. Many people knew her from her role as Graciela Reyes, a reformed gang member on the TV series Judging Amy, and from her appearance in the movie Rebound.
That's what it's called.
Ironically, the same kind of life she portrayed on screen was the one she eventually got pulled into in real life. By early 2005, at just 16 years old, Tara had moved out of her mother's home and was living on her own in an apartment in Inglewood, California. She started dating a 26-year-old gang member named Christopher Avery, and soon she became deeply involved in his world.
Damn.
It was a world filled with danger, and it didn't take long before it claimed her life.
Her mother told us that she was dating this guy, and he's a bad guy, and we were trying to get her away from him. That's where the trouble began.
On the night of October 21, 2005, around 9:15 p.m., Tara was outside her apartment complex on Centinela Boulevard, hanging out with a few people. Out of nowhere, a man later identified as gang member Damian Watts pulled up and opened fire. The shooting was believed to be a part of a string of retaliations. Watts' gang had been attacked the day before, and this was his way of striking back. Tara was hit several times as she tried to run for safety, collapsing near the entrance of her building. She died on the spot before help could arrive. 2 other people were shot but survived. Watts was in the middle of a violent 2-day rampage. The day before, he had already killed a 31-year-old man named Thomas Sanders, and Tara's death came less than 24 hours later. After his arrest, Watts was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and multiple gang-related charges. The court didn't hold back. He received 5 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of...
I thought he just gonna get 1 life sentence. They gave him 5. Now let me speak on... Bro, why do judges give people 5 life sentences, bro? You only live 1 life. How you gonna give me 5 years? How you gonna give me 5 life sentences when I only live 1 life? I can only be in this bed 1 time. I can do life 1 time. So you telling me when I die, I go up top, I gotta go back to jail? Folks, it's crazy. I know taking a life is crazy, but you begging that whatever they call that motherfucker saying 5 consecutive life sentences without parole. The fuck? I can't get out this bitch anyways. I already got 1 life. How the fuck give me 4 more extra ones? Like, that's crazy. I'm not a cat.
Parole in 2009. His accomplice, Joseph Wayne Jones, was also given life without parole. Moesha Matadine. She was just 23, but she had already built a fierce reputation in Philadelphia's underworld. Originally from St. Catherine, Jamaica, she came to the United States and quickly got involved in gang life. She was connected to a man named Kenroy Thomas, the leader of a crew tied to the notorious Jamaican One Order gang. Moesha wasn't someone who stood in the background. She was active, helping to plan and execute violent missions, and her name started to carry weight in the streets. Surveillance footage once caught her driving the getaway car during a shooting, showing just how deep she was in the mix. Her gang wasn't just fighting local enemies. They were waging full-on street wars for control of Philadelphia's drug trade. Reports said her crew had taken out at least 11 members of a rival group as part of their campaign for dominance. The money they made from their crimes didn't just stay in the US. Some of it was funneled back to Jamaica to help fund more gang activity there. For years, the police had her on their radar but could never pin enough evidence to make an arrest stick. But Moesha's rise in that violent world came with a price. Her downfall came during an intense period of gang warfare in Philadelphia. According to investigators, she was set up by rivals and ambushed in a hit that looked like pure revenge. The attack happened around 11:30 p.m. in the Germantown neighborhood. Surveillance cameras caught a white van pulling up, and 6 armed men jumped out and started firing at a group standing on the corner. In just a few seconds, nearly 87 shots rang out. When the smoke cleared, Moesha had been hit 11 times, taking multiple bullets to the chest and torso.
Police say around 87 shots were fired, sending 6 people to the
They
hospital,
did hop out. They did say 6 people hopped out, so you can't expect over at least 60 shots. If all 6 people shooting, you could expect over 60 shots to be shot. Feel me? But damn, 87.
21-year-old woman shot several times in the chest and torso.
She was rushed to the hospital in critical condition but didn't survive the night. Her death hit hard in both Philadelphia and back home in Jamaica. One local observer, shaken by the news, said, "I can't tell you what went wrong, and I don't know what got into this lady's mind or her heart. This young girl, I wouldn't even call her a lady because she didn't even reach that stage, just a young girl who gave her life away and chose that kind of life." Shawnee's infant China Dyer. She was a young member of the East Coast Crips from South Central Los Angeles. In 2019, when she was only 17, Dyer took part in a brutal double murder that would shock even a city as hardened as LA. Along with 2 other members of her gang, she targeted and killed 2 innocent men, Alfredo Carrera and Jose Flores Velasquez, simply because they were standing in rival gang territory claimed by Florencia 13. The shooting wasn't personal. It was an order from an older gang member who told them to put in some work to get back at Florencia 13 after one of their own had been killed. But what made it worse was that the victims had nothing to do with a gang war. Carrera was an expectant father who was out exchanging baby shower gifts with his pregnant fiancée. She watched in horror as he was gunned down right in front of her. Flores, on the other hand, was a PhD candidate and a bright young mind who had just accepted a job with NASA. The gunfire was so random and close range that no one had a chance to react. A third person who tried to protect his 1-year-old daughter was also hit in the back during the chaos.
Brother Alfredo Carrera and his friend Jose.
If you were sexually abused while in a juvenile detention facility, you could be entitled to $580,000 or more in compensation.
Jose Flores Velasquez were murdered in South Los Angeles simply because they were standing in a rival gang. Alfredo was about to be a father, and Jose was a student at UCI who had just accepted a job with NASA.
Later, Dyer admitted she was the one who pulled the trigger and even sent a text saying she was happy to be on the news. Because of how cold and deliberate the murders were, then District Attorney Jackie Lacey wanted to try her as an adult. But things changed when George Gascon took over as DA in 2020. His new policy banned trying juveniles as adults, so Dyer's case was moved to juvenile court. She was convicted of both murders but served less than 4 years. In February 2023, she was released.
17-year-old Shanice Dyer, a member of the East Coast Crips, was charged with premeditated murder by District Attorney Jackie Lacey and was set to be tried as an adult when George Gascon took office in 2020. Dyer was tried as a juvenile. She was in custody less than 4 years for 2 murders.
Her details didn't sit well with the victims' families, who felt justice hadn't been served. Carrera's sister called her a cold-blooded killer and said this was exactly what happens under lenient laws. Tragically, only a few months.
Her sister said that, or her sister said some shit like, or they had to be somebody else. They had to be the person that died, sister.
And said this was exactly what happens under lenient laws. Tragically, only a few months after her release, in June 2024, Dyer was back in the headlines, this time accused of helping 2 fellow East Coast Crips kill a 21-year-old man named Joshua Streeter in Pomona. Prosecutors and former officials called it a predictable tragedy, saying it should never have happened if she had stayed behind bars. Now, Dyer once again faces new murder charges. Patricia Tawana Thomas. She and her killer were barely teenagers, yet already wrapped up in the violent cycle of loyalty and revenge that ruled the streets of Los Angeles.
All this shit is going on in California, bro. Like, what the fuck? California is crazy with the women gangsters, boy.
County. Both girls had once been part of the same crew, the 118th Street East Coast Crips, but things changed when Patricia made a move that, in gang culture, was seen as unforgivable. She decided to leave the Crips and align herself with their sworn enemies, the Bloods.
Bitch, what the fuck? Bitch, is you cool? Bitch, how you gonna go from Bloods to Crips, bitch? You, like, how? 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 How you gonna go from Blood to Crips? I never in my life, bro. What, bro? Yeah, her ass was dumb, twin. She went from blood to man. Okay.
That switch set off a storm. To make matters worse, the two girls were also reportedly feuding over the same boyfriend. The mix of betrayal, jealousy, and gang pride created a deadly combination. On June 2nd, 1989, Patricia's former friend armed herself and went looking for her. Witnesses said she told people she was going to smoke Patricia, meaning she planned to kill her. That day, Patricia walked out of her house wearing red, the color of the Bloods. Her former friend spotted her, pulled out a gun, and shot her at point-blank range. The bullet hit Patricia in the chest, killing her instantly. Afterward, the young shooter didn't hide what she had done. She went around bragging to others in the gang that she had killed a swan, which was a term the Crips used to insult Blood members. When she was caught, prosecutors charged her with first-degree murder. On August 3, 1989, she was convicted and sentenced to 27 years to life in Compton Juvenile Court. But because she was only 13 at the time of the crime, the law required that she be released when she turned 25. Erica Johnson. Her murder in West Los Angeles was one of those cold, calculated crimes that show just how far gangs would go to protect their own. It happened on February 28, 1985. Just hours before her death, Erica had been served a subpoena to testify against Kevin Goff, the feared leader of the Playboy Gangster Crips, in an assault case. She wasn't hiding or looking for trouble, she was simply caught up in something much bigger than her. But to the gang, her testimony meant danger, and they weren't going to let that happen. Two young men, Glenn Martell, 20, and Jedrick Bond, 19, who were eager to earn their stripes in the Playboy Gangster Crips, decided that silencing her was their ticket in. They lured Erica into a car pretending to be friendly. Once inside, Bond pulled out a gun and shot her 4 times in the face. It was execution style, cold and merciless. The police eventually caught them, and during their transport of the squad car, they were secretly recorded talking about the murder like it was nothing. Martell was overheard bragging that he didn't care about what would happen next. "If I go to jail, I can still watch TV, listen to the radio, and eat plenty of grub," he said.
Boy, these motherfuckers here be OC. This motherfucker said I can still watch TV, listen to music, and eat plenty of grub, bro. What, bro? This nigga did not care about going to jail, bro. What, bro? That's crazy, chat.
Both men were convicted of first-degree murder in 1986, but even then, Martell showed no remorse. During sentencing, as Erica's parents wept in court, he reportedly grinned at them, as if proud of what he'd done. Her case remains one of the darkest examples of gang intimidation silencing justice. Magnolia Shorty. Renetta Yamika Lowe Bridgewater, better known as Magnolia Shorty, was a New Orleans legend, one of the queens of bounce music and an early artist on Cash Money Records. She came up in the Magnolia Projects, the same place that produced stars like Juvenile and Soulja Slim. Even as her fame grew, she never forgot her roots, but those same streets that shaped her world would also be where her life ended. On December 20th, 2010, Magnolia Shorty, just 28 years old, pulled into the parking lot of her gated apartment complex in New Orleans East. Riding with her was her friend, 25-year-old Jerome Madman Hampton, a young man she was trying to mentor in music. Her family had warned her to stay away from him. Hampton had a reputation, and word was he was into some serious street trouble. As she drove in, a white Crown Victoria tailed her, circling before cutting her off at a speed bump. Inside were the members of the notorious 39ers gang. 4 gunmen jumped out. One of them was Gregory Stewart, a known shooter who would later confess. They surrounded her car and opened fire from every angle, even climbing on top of the vehicle and shooting through the sunroof. Magnolia tried to escape but lost control and crashed into a fence. More than 50 shell casings were found at the scene. She was hit 26 times and died alongside Hampton.
Confirmed tonight that one of the victims of a double murder in broad daylight earlier today was indeed a popular local rapper. Fans are turning to the internet to mourn the loss of the second female rapper to sign on with Cash Money Records.
Investigators later learned the real target was Hampton. He'd been plotting to take out Merle Offray, the 39ers leader, and the gang struck first. Shorty was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. When news broke, it rocked the city. Lil Wayne took to social media saying RIP to my big sister Magnolia Shorty. This is a crazy world. Her family was devastated. One relative said they collapsed upon hearing the news, unable to believe it was real. Prosecutors vowed to make the killers pay. They don't show any breaks to the people of this community, said District Attorney Leon Canizero. We're going to give them no breaks either. Eventually, 10 members of the 39ers were convicted in connection to the murder. A year later, tragedy struck again. Magnolia Shorty's husband, Carl Bridgewater, was also gunned down. Bloody Mary. Her name, Rajni Falks, also known as Nene X, was a Compton powerhouse. Born in Steubenville, Ohio in 1970, she moved to California and became deeply tied to the Blood and Piru sets, especially Eastside Fruittown Piru and Avenue Piru. But beyond the gang ties, Bloody Mary made her mark in hip-hop history as the first and only female representing the Bloods on the infamous 1993 Bangin' on Wax album, a project that brought actual Crips and Bloods together to rap about life in the streets. Her voice was deep, commanding, and raw, so much so that many listeners thought she was a man when they first heard her. Her verse on Piru Love stood out as one of the best on the record. In 1994, she dropped her solo album She's Dangerous under the name Nene X. Later, she even got into a short-lived rap beef with Miami's Luther Luke Campbell, firing back with a track called F. Luke. Bloody Mary's journey took her through the heart of the industry. After leaving Dangerous Records due to money issues, she signed with Suge Knight's Death Row Records, right as the label was at its peak. Things were looking up, but fate had other plans. On November 19, 2006, tragedy struck. Bloody Mary was riding her motorcycle through Compton when a police chase broke out nearby. A truck fleeing from officers came speeding down and slammed into her bike. The crash was devastating. She suffered crushed lungs, a shattered hip, and massive brain trauma. Doctors placed her on life support, but she never regained consciousness. Eventually, she was declared brain dead, and her family made the heartbreaking decision to let her go.
Locked up in Illinois juvie at Cook County, the Audi home, or anywhere else in the system?
A global settlement may be coming in 2025.
That last one was just crazy.
Reputation.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's bad, bro. Man, bro. Hey, man, that was just a crazy video, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, it's just wild. To really just say it's just crazy. Like, it's just crazy, like, all around, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, it was just crazy. Like, just hearing all that, how these females went out. Like, the ones that really, like, the ones that had something to do with it, it's crazy, but they should have that. But you know what comes with it. They know what comes with that. But the people that like the females that ain't had nothing to do with it, bro, it's just wild, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Especially like the one that they got shot 26 times. Like that's crazy, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's wild, bro. That shit, man, bro. But let me know how y'all feel about this video in the comments. Like I said, if y'all got some more other videos y'all want to recommend me do other than these basketball reactions, recommend, drop them in the comments, man. No cap. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna get over with y'all in the next one, man. We gone. Love.
Triggers, walking with they guns out like some cops harassing niggas. I don't want that bitch no more, my bro, she say he hit her. And she suck my dick, he on Facebook like he kissed her. I can't stop this rap shit till I'm making 8 figures. Put it on his head and that little JD go and get him. And all that JD go and get him.